Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nathan back with another video presentation. Um, Before we get into the video, there's a few things I would like to say up front. First and foremost, I would like to send my thoughts and prayers to the families, the 14 students that were killed, including the teacher in Texas today. I'm going to send my thoughts and prayers to their loved ones. And I really had no, I had really had no plan even wanted to even go live today. After hearing that, I'm angry, sad, any other adjective feeling you can think of. There's no sense of security. There's no sense of accountability. It's time we start taking accountability and holding those accountable. Because I already know that there's going to be, I already can tell they're going to move the goalposts with the media. They're going to switch the narratives. They're going to point fingers. 14 kids who I believe were enjoying their last week of school. It's traumatizing. I can't go to a grocery store. I can't go to school. I can't, your job, can't do anything without looking over your shoulder now. And it's absolutely disgusting that the values of what this country is supposed to stand for, and all the recent things you're hearing in the media, pro this, pro that, but you see these kind of things, no accountability, no, we need to take action against this type of stuff. Absolutely no sense. So I just wanted to take this time and just really, really pray for those families. And I would really, truly appreciate it if you joined me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right. So as you've seen the title, the Washington Mystics play the Atlanta Dream. We last saw them a couple not this past Friday in a good showdown. A couple takeaways from that game. One thing I noticed was Ryan Howard had 19 first half points, and a lot of those points came from the three. But then going in the second half, she only had 2 points, and she struggled from the three. I think the key to beating Atlanta is the same mentality. Um, Ariel Atkins and Natasha Cloud, I think, have to be the key. The backcourt has to be the key. Um, they did play a big part in that comeback against Atlanta. Tiana Hawkins had 11 points coming off the bench. Elena Deladon, who did not play, she was on rest. As a cohesive unit, we shot 45 and a half, I believe it was 45% from the field. We didn't do that well. We as a 3-point shooting team, I've noticed that we're not taking we're taking good shots, we're just not falling. We shot under 20% from three in that game. I think we shot about 17%. And some of my 3-point shooters, like Natasha Cloud, took 6 threes and only made one. Ariel made one. That was, and Shatori made one, and I think it was Taj, Ariel, and Shatori, only threes they made. I think that was the one glaring statistic that I saw. Sean Spencer, what's going on, sir? If you're the Mystics, got to make your shots. Also, to keep the turnovers down. We turned the ball over 17 times compared to their 14. When you turn the ball over, you're not making shots. That's a recipe for disaster. I do expect Atlanta to bring their physicality on the defensive side, which showed Cheyenne Parker, Nia Coffey, Erica Wheeler. Hopefully we have a better outcome, because it's ironic in the first and the fourth quarter we did well, but in the second and third we just got outperformed because Atlanta was up by 10 going into halftime. So I'm looking at that. Just got to be, like I said, take away the 3 from Atlanta, get going early, and just got to make smart plays and just make shots. I think that's the key. Now with Elena, there, I think that does help, because the starting lineup is Natasha Cloud, Ariel Atkins, Alicia Clark, Shakira Austin, and Deladon. And they're bringing out the same lineup we saw: Erica Wheeler, Christy Wallace, Ryan Howard, Nia Coffey, and Cheyenne Parker. Monique Billings is still out with health and safety protocols, and Tiffany Hayes is still on rest. And as of right now, we're healthy. So I think we'll be fine tonight. Now, I do feel like the loss to Chicago was a wake-up call. We simply just were absolutely no-show. The final score in that game, ladies and gentlemen, the final score was 82-73. Where's my clip?
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airways, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
I to have only 3 starters in double figures, that was glaring. That was the glaring issue. Shakira also had 14 points. Ariel had 20. Elena had 17. I think Chicago's defense just got the best of us. We simply weren't hitting shots. I hate to say it, but Natasha Cloud didn't have a great game. She, after the Las Vegas game, got in front of the camera and said she's a shooter. Just didn't play well. 1 of 8 from 3. She had 10 assists, which was good, but as a cohesive unit, we shot under 40% as a team. That's just not going to win you basketball games. That's just plain and simple. I thought the lineup that they had out there was just big. At one point it had Azare, Emma Kansas, and Van Quigley. That lineup, we just had no answers for. Even with Clea Copper, she played 26 minutes. I didn't think they were going to have her out there that long. That they were going to kind of get her back in the rotation. But, I mean, you had Clea Copper with 12 points. Candace Parker had a triple-double. Emma had 11. Allie had 10. Vandersloot only had 4 points, if I remember correctly. And then you had Rebecca Gardner. I mean, she's not in the scouting report. To me, I mean, she had a good 11 points, and she was 4-6 from the field. And then, my girl Azarae Stevens had 13 points. So I think a lot of it just comes down to was we weren't making the defensive stops, but more importantly, shots just weren't falling. I mean, again, like I said, shooting under 30%, under 40% from the field, and we shot under 43% from three. That's great. But again, the turnover differential was better. But we simply just got to make shots, hit shots. We got to just perform better down the stretch. And I do think that this was a good loss. I think it was a good wake-up call because I do question why Shakira. I feel like it was lack of touches. I do. Because his decision-making was kind of all over the place. I mean, he did say in the Zoom, he had to go back and look at the film. He just didn't know how to explain it. Like when you, as a fan, Coach T is probably one of my favorite coaches. He would just let you know flat out if I can't give you a direct answer, I can't point to what it is. I'd look back at the tape. But I mean, I think we were just expecting. I'm expecting tonight a better Mystic team overall than what I saw Sunday, because that was embarrassing. And I do. This is a sleeper team to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but when you have games like this, and I understand we're still early in the season, but I'm not sure if we're still working out the kinks offensively, or we're trying too hard. We're not making the game simple, but like just those last few seconds, like we cut it close. We were down 6, and then they just, again, like I said, the threes, and they didn't really do that well from 3. They shot 25%, but from the field, they killed us.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous.
So they play, like I said, they're playing Atlanta Dream. Actually, the game is actually starting. We're taking a moment of silence. What happened to Texas again? Which again is crazy, but I can't believe that. As we transition into the next topic, WNBA rankings going into week 3. Again, this is nothing personal. This is just what I have been observing. These are my personal rankings for week 3. I'm doing it 12-1. Again, I am taking into consideration injuries and those coming back from overseas, and also to team performance. And painfully, to start off at number 12, the New York Liberty. The only really glaring positive I'll say about the New York Liberty is the win against Connecticut. That is it. Other than that, they have the last 4 games they have played poorly. They have been embarrassing defeats. They lost to Chicago. I think it was by 30. I think it was by 33. And then Connecticut, they got embarrassed. I know DD Richards has been dealing with an injury. What's up the guard? Willoughby. I know I think she might be out for a few weeks. But Laney's now out with an injury. Steffi Dolson still kind of is still adjusting. And again, it's a new coach. I think you're still working out the kinks. I do believe the New York Liberty will get it together. This was a team that I did say will win at least 18 games, and this is interesting. But I think they will get it together. Uh, Number 11, the Minnesota Lynx. Well, they beat the Sparks. I still cannot believe I saw that game. Kelly McBride, that was her first game back, had the game-winning bucket. Again, this roster it's just been interesting to look at. I mean, Angel McCaultrey was her contract was bought out. They bought an Odyssey Sims, let her go. Mariah Jefferson was signed. I mean, just signing just up and down. Oh my gosh, my microphone just up and down the roster. There's no really consistency, and I think that shows chemistry-wise. I'm disappointed. I'm a fan of Sylvia Follows, and I don't think this is what she expected to see. I do hopefully that again as time progressed there'll be some of this again consistency, continuity. I do believe they'll get back on track. I do believe they play New York, so that's a start. And then they got to play LA again, but I know LA's gonna be getting some payback for sure. Number 10, the Los Angeles Sparks. Derek Fisher, man.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
If the New York Liberty loss, the Link loss wasn't bad enough, they have lost 3 games by 3. I'm sorry, 2 games by 3. They lost to Minnesota and then Seattle. And last night they lost. They got embarrassed by Vegas. I feel like that if your name is not Brittany Sykes or Lexi Brown on the defensive side of the ball, we got to have a conversation because I don't know. I don't get it. In the offense, I do feel like that they don't have a floor spacer. They're not spacing the floor. I love Liz Cambage, but like they're too. I think they should play small. And again, like Chiney Ogwumike is dealing with an injury. She should be back. Hopefully that'll bring some defensive and offensive help more. But on the defensive side of the ball, my gosh, like that's awful. That's kind of been really the glaring thing. I mean, and also too, they're offensively, they're not really making shots. And I do attribute that to the style of play, in my personal opinion. But more importantly, I don't know if it's chemistry. They're still trying to figure each other out. But last night, what I saw is that it's going to be a long season. Number 9, the Indiana Fever. Now, this is a surprise for me. The only loss that they've taken so far, so they lost to Atlanta and they lost to Connecticut. So far, I mean, I looked at the stats. They're struggling in terms of shooting. They're from the field, from the 3, and the free throw. I feel like a lot of it has to do with this is just growing pains. They're a young team. Like I said, everyone in complete rebuilding mode. You know, you got practically 4 starters out there. They're rookies. Lexi Hall, Emily S. Taylor, Queen Enegbo, Melissa Smith, who's dealing with an ankle injury, Destiny Henderson. You know, your valuable core members are Danielle Robinson, Victoria Vivians, Tiffany Mitchell, Kelsey Mitchell, and then you also have Elena Coates there as well. So I think a lot of it's just growing pains. I think some of it also too. I think it's figuring out what rotation works best for her. But I do expect that. I do think the Indiana Fever will get it together. They do play Chicago today. Yes, they do. So, yeah, man, that's really where I see Indiana. But for now, we'll continue to look at that. Number 8, The Phoenix Mercury. Well, first and foremost, where do I begin? So most people already saw it. I've seen it. I know this is probably a week late, but there was a video of Skylar Diggins on the bench. She looked very, very irritable and looked like she was ready to take Diana Taurasi's head off. They just had the last 3 weeks were just tough. They lost to Las Vegas and then Dallas. A lot of it is defense. Right now, I think they're 11th, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a statistic I saw. They're 11th in defense. And, we did say it. This was going to be a test of strength. Their schedule was going to be tough. They still have their offense is arguably still balanced, but you could tell also too they miss Brittany Griner. I think it's more we're not Dana 95 that she's been detained in Russia, but you could tell without her there's a piece of that defense missing. But also too, I want you to pay attention to this. Now, when I watched them against Vegas, they from an offensive perspective, I think tried to match Las Vegas's pace, and it came back to bite them in the foot. I do feel like they'll get it together. I think other than you can make a case other than maybe Las Vegas, I still think Phoenix has the best. I think the offense is arguably better, but I think on the defensive side of the ball, they just got to get together. And I've seen that happen with Skylar, what happened on the bench. That happens. I know Diana Taurasi's not the best defender in the world. Things are going to happen, lack of communication. Those things happen. I don't think it shouldn't be really. It's not really all about nothing. I'm pretty sure they talked about what they were going to have at dinner. So, number 7, the Seattle Storm. Excuse me. Now, Seattle, coming into this week, everybody's healthy. Now, last week, they definitely had they had Epiphany Prince, Jantel Lavender, Brandon Stewart on health and safety protocols. It was crazy. And they did well. They beat Chicago and LA. Again, same thing. Schedule. I think they'll be okay. Nothing to be concerned of. Like I said, once they get everybody back healthy, the only really one that's still still injured is Mercedes Russell. So their schedule. I think there'll be a balance at some point, but I'm not too concerned about Seattle. Like I said, once everyone comes back healthy, they'll be okay. Number 6, the Dallas Wings. Now, I've noticed something that caught my eye. For some reason, the bigs, now that they got Terry McCowan, they're not getting a lot of touches. Like Charlie Collier isn't getting minutes off the bench. I would like Vicky Johnson to ask that question. Why is that? Yes, they beat us, Phoenix, and then they lost to Minnesota. This is a sleeper team to get to the playoffs. I still think that on paper, Arike Gumbawale, Marina Mabry, now you got Seitu Sabli back, Isabel Harrison, Tierra McCowan, Kayla Thornton. I think that's a playoff team for sure. It's just to stay consistent. That's the key. But I give Vicky Johnson credit. They're trying to compete. But I'm just a little concerned why Charlie Collier, your number 1 overall pick last year, is not really coming off the bench like that. That makes absolutely no sense. Either that tells me that you don't believe in her, or you don't, I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. Number 5, the Atlanta Dream. Now, Ryan Howard is still my rookie of the year. And to me, Ryan Howard. Give Tanisha Wright the credit. They're young and they're playing hard. They're seeing it firsthand with Washington. Their defense is immaculate, and last year we talked about they need more scoring. They've added that. I mean, practically, Cheyenne Parker can shoot the ball. Christy Wallace, Erica Wheeler, Nia Coffey. They can all shoot the ball. I'll give them. I have to give the Atlanta Dream credit. They've really stepped up and they've really rebuilt the franchise, the culture, and they're bringing winning basketball back to Atlanta. And the fans in Atlanta should be proud of that. This is a potential team that can get to the playoffs. So keep that in mind. We got 4 more, and we're going to end the video. Number 4, the Washington Mystics. Yes, we got off to a good start, but there's still some issue that I have, and it's particularly on offense. I think the 3-point shooting needs to be better. I think the amount of turnovers that we've had. I thought losing to Chicago was a reality check. I thought how we played against Atlanta. I'm hoping that those losses make us better. I mean, game by game, I am seeing the improvements. On the defensive side of the ball, when we're in clutch, we're playing immaculate basketball offensively as well. And again, we've proven that we can play without Elena Delle Donne and Alicia Clark, which is fantastic. Again, the only thing is now that everyone's back, it's just minutes. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it progresses. Number 3, the Chicago Sky. Well, the defending champs are just playing basketball. There's really nothing you can find wrong. I think the biggest thing was just available bodies. Candace Parker's doing her thing. She Sunday became the oldest WNBA player to record a triple-double. And also doing it on 2 different teams. She did it with the Sparks and with the Sky. So also too, she's played the fewest minutes. I remember seeing that stat correctly. I think she played 30 minutes Sunday. Yeah. That's
Skip. Good Lord. Thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
Let's move on to number 2, the Connecticut Sun. Okay. First, I want to say this. I want to send my thoughts and prayers to Jasmine Thomas. She will miss the remainder of this season. She tore her ACL. When I initially saw it, I instantly said torn ACL, but something was telling me, please let it be a sprain or hyperextended. And it came back that she tore it. So I'm sending thoughts and prayers. I wish her a speedy recovery. Get well soon. Last year, Alyssa Thomas, now Jasmine Thomas. Damn. Basketball guys, I don't get that. But Connecticut, look, they've been on a tear. They're first place. They're ranked first. They're ranked first in defensive efficiency. However, they're second on offensive efficiency. So I know that's a stat that they should definitely hang. They should hang their hat on. They should be proud of that. Connecticut is the team that I see. I see them going in the finals. Now I could see the minutes kind of being changed. Like I know it's like Bree Jones, who had her 1,000th career point. I'm happy for her. I'd like to see her get some more touches on the offensive side of the ball. But did say he's going to have to figure out Kurt is going to figure out those minutes with Connecticut. But they're just balling. Alyssa Thomas is my comeback player of the year. I do predict Alyssa Thomas will make the All-Star team. There's really nothing else I could say about Connecticut. And then finally, another team that I also have going in the finals, the Las Vegas Aces at number 1. There's nothing to take away from it. Becky Hammond is coach of the year already. their pace has just been immaculate to look at. Jackie Young, who got an extension, she's been playing really well. Kelsey Plum, that backcourt is just not fair. It's not fair. I mean, they're just the offense looks better than last year. Asia Wilson, who is my MVP, they're just on a mission this year to win the championship. There's nothing, no glaring weakness. The only thing I can say is just the bench. I know Kristen Bell will get it together. I like the confidence that she's getting from Becky, Coach Hammond, and the others. But yeah, that's my rankings going into week 3. I'm going to enjoy this Mystic game. I'm hoping that the bench plays better, and hopefully this lineup will produce better results. But be tuned in. I got a couple more episodes that I will try to go live with. I want to talk about Nick Saban. I know I'm kind of late to the party with that. And I have not forgotten 15 through 30 for the NBA Mock Draft 1.0. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the support you're giving me in this channel. I will see y'all later. Have a good night.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.